Hello and welcome to the CNBC-TV18 CEO Sentimeter. Metals have seen a strong rally led by aluminum and nickel. What's the outlook for the sector? What's the outlook as far as oil and gas prices are concerned? And more importantly, what is the plan for Vedanta when it comes to expansion, when it comes to its capital allocation, its dividend payout policy, and more? To discuss all of that, we're now joined by the chairman of Vedanta, Anil Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, many thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. Let me start by asking you about what we are seeing as far as commodities are concerned, because that clearly is the focus of the market and of investors at this point in time. If I were to take a look at what's happened with zinc prices from February to the start of March 2022, we saw zinc prices go up by 28%. They are about 15% off their highs, but still up 9% from February of 2022. Similar story as far as aluminum is concerned. So let me ask you to explain to us your outlook as far as metal prices go.
Yeah, sure. India is in a very, very sweet spot at the moment because India geology, India production is increasing in natural resource. And as the overhaul, these last few years, no new mines has opened up. And there's a huge demand for these metal. As you talk about the aluminum, no new production has come. In fact, they're cutting down the production. As you've seen, zinc application is going very, very high, including the pharmaceutical. There used to be only 15–20% application on the naked steel. Now it's going as high as 60%. Every sector of commodities, including oil and gas. In oil and gas, people have a little bit ignored, but today seeing the price, it's very important to produce oil and gas. In coal is also very, very important. India is a very different position than the world. You know, if you look at, we can't be put into the same basket as the world is. Today, we have to be self-sufficient today as what we have seen in the geopolitical situation, whereby it is very important for us to be self-reliant, Atmanirbhar. And the most important sector is the natural resource sector, because most of our allocation goes into the natural resource, whether it's coal, gold, oil, gas, fertilizer. So, and India has, as I've been telling last 10 years, that India has a phenomenal geology, and it is very important that we should explore more and more. I'm a geologist by practice, and I can see what geology we have, probably one of the best in the world. It is the time where
I get
massive
that.
jobs. Yeah. So,
right, Mr. Agarwal, I'm interrupting you. I'm interrupting you because, yes, you know, this has been your argument and this has been your hypothesis, as you point out, for the last 10 years, that India has the natural resources, but these natural resources are yet to be fully tapped and fully exploited. But I want to understand from you, in terms of prices at this point in time, given the demand-supply situation, given the geopolitical developments, especially the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, how much headroom do you see for prices to move higher, or do you think that they will stabilize at these levels, especially when we talk about metals?
I think they will stabilize on this level, according to me, 10% plus minus. That's what I feel, because the world is little mature, and I thought initially there'll be a lot of panic, but I think the world is more mature, and I could see the pricing is stabilizing around 10 to 15% plus and minus on these prices.
Okay, 12 to 15% plus or minus as far as these prices are concerned. Let me then ask you, Mr. Agarwal, about you know, the outlook as far as Vedanta itself is concerned. You did do an investor meet, an analyst meet, where you have tried to address some of the concerns that investors have had. You've tried to explain what the strategy is going to be going forward. So let me pick up on one of the big assurances that you have made, which is debt reduction. And you've talked about being able to bring down your debt debt by $4 billion in 3 years. How confident do you feel about this, and what will be the path to this debt reduction specifically?
We have been, if you look at the total debt, Vedanta Resources and Vedanta Limited is $12.5 billion. And this is 1.5 year profit of our company. So in terms of debt equity ratio, we are very comfortable. But still, I assure that we have been dividend paying company from last so many years, 10 years we have been paying. We are very comfortable to upstream between $2 billion to $3 billion, upstream the dividend. So I'm very confident and very comfortable that we'll be able to reduce $4 billion. And I assured everybody we reduce $4 billion debt in 3 years' time. This is the complete assurance we have given them.
Yes, that is the assurance that you've given them. I'm looking at many analyst reports that have come in post that investor meet that you had. And the rough calculation that people are working with, since you spoke about upstreaming of dividends, is that with the upstreaming of dividends along with the interest servicing, that implies a dividend of about 58 rupees a share. Would that be what you're working with as well?
Yeah, I've not looked at the calculation, but I'm very confident. Once I make assurance, we never fail. We are very comfortable to upstream $4 billion and reduce the debt reduction. Apart from that, we have also, like you know, we have one of the largest asset of copper in Zambia, which illegally the last government has taken over from us and put in a receiver. We are in process of getting it back. That itself is a very large asset, and it is one of the largest copper, copper position. So we'll be able to get something from there. As you know, we have a technology company, Vedanta Resources. We have a transmission. So putting everything together, debt reduction is no issue of $4 billion.
Okay, debt reduction, you believe, will follow the path that you've guided. In the next 12 to 15 months, Mr. Agarwal, Vedanta Resources has a repayment of about $3.5 billion. How confident are you feeling in terms of being able to repay that, refinance it? What's the way forward on that front?
Yeah, we will be able to around $2 billion repay through the dividend, $1 billion we can roll out. There are so many ways we can do it. We are very comfortable rolling out. Every banks are, is a normal practice to roll over. So $1 billion will be able to roll over, and about $2 billion will repay.
Okay. All right. Let me then ask you if you've heard anything further from the government as far as the privatization process of BPCL is concerned. Has there been any communication? Has there been any movement forward on that front?
I have not heard anything, but the investor conference, I clarified that Vedanta has a huge credibility and a lot of interest in the BPCL with the Sovereign Wealth Fund and the various other funds. And they want us to come to manage this company. And we have said we will not put in Vedanta balance sheet to acquire any of the asset. At the moment, I have no idea because we have no date when they are going to ask for the bid. So whether it will take 1 year, 2 years, or 6 months, I have no idea. But we have very clearly said BPCL, if any opportunity comes, Vedanta balance sheet will not be used. All the fund will come independently. We are ready to manage the company. People are comfortable in the privatization, and we will charge our service charge, management fee. That will be good for our shareholder.
Right. Yes. Well, we will have to wait to see what the government does do as far as BPCL is concerned.